Gosh, that one is a terrible story because I was sitting there one day. Uh, it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess it was, when these three guys came in. One stood at the door, one stood halfway down, and then the other one stood by my desk with the gun in his hand. And he said to me, "Okay, give me what you got." Well, first we stood there and talked for a few minutes, and then he said, with the gun at my head, "Give me what you got." Well, your whole mind just boggles at that time. Your whole life goes across in front of your eyes. I mean, you think it is anyway. And so I gave him what I had in the drawer, and it wasn't a whole lot because we didn't keep a whole lot in the drawer because we were afraid that that might happen to us. And so I gave him what I could, and then I gave him what was in my purse. And then he said to me, "Well, this still isn't enough. You get down there on the floor." And I thought, oh, I had a pair of white pants on at that time, and I didn't want to get my pants dirty. But I also didn't want to get shot. So I didn't know what to do. But then we had the back door there where I could get out if I could make it. And I wasn't going to lay there and let him do what he wanted to do. So I decided I'd get down on my haunches about halfway to the back door and make a run for it. If I made it, fine. If I didn't, then I'd get shot. But everything goes through your mind at that time. You just can't imagine what it's like with a gun at your head. But then I decided to get down on the floor, and I was on my haunches. And I saw the back door, and I decided I'm going to make a run for it, which I did do. But in the meantime, I raised up and started to run, and he had long arms because he got a hold of me and pushed me against the wall in the back, and I hit my head on we had a place was easy for him to do, hit my head on the side, but I made the back door. And right outside was Walt standing there with a broom in his hand, and I said, "It doesn't do any good, he's got a gun." And so one of the 2 or 3 of the employees ran out the door. They didn't want to face it. And the guy then must have put the gun in his back because he ran out the front door. They all 3 ran out the front door. And so...
Did Walt chase after them?
Huh?
Did Walt chase after them?
No, he didn't. Well, no. He was looking after me more than he was them.
Well, that's good.
Because he didn't chase after him. But one of the other fellas did. But they didn't catch him then. And so I waited there. Joe, had red hair.
Yeah.
And a temper. And I didn't... Walt kept saying, "Well, you want me to call?" He was out on a call. And I said, "Don't call him, just let him go through with his call." And then, but he called the police, of course, and the police came. And they took fingerprints. They were fingerprinting, and Orville decided he was going to call Joe whether I wanted him to or not, which he did do. And he came back to the shop and saw that I was all right, except that the police said if I wanted to, they'd take me to the hospital because I had a little bump on my head from where he had knocked me against the wall. But it wasn't amounted to a hill of beans, so I said no, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, Joe was very calm, cool, and collected that time. So Orman must have told him to stay that way because he didn't like it. But then it wasn't too long after that that we decided to call it quits. That was after 40 years of having service, and decided that that was about the end of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did that happen while I was still alive?
Well, what?
Was I still alive then? Or was I born yet?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure. All I know is that about 2 weeks before we were getting ready to leave, getting everything packed up to leave, and somebody came in and told us that they had caught the guy that had done the robbery.
Well, that's good.
So we didn't worry about that anymore. But we packed up and moved out, and that was the end of our 40 years.